Hey guys, it's Katie and JD, and we are live here at our office. Check it out. See, it's all officey and stuff, and people are working. And we are here with our very first episode of Real Estate Mythbusters.
Yeah.
What's Real Estate Mythbusters, JD?
We are going to be talking about, what is it, like...
Certain things in real estate
Yeah.
that you think you know.
Things that you think are great but may not be.
Or even things that you just think you know.
Mm-hmm.
Busted. And then you're going to learn the real truth. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
So
Okay.
what are we talking about?
Today, what are we talking about?
We are talking about flat fee listing companies.
So flat listers. So think driving up the 10, going toward Ahwatukee or Phoenix or something like that, and you see these billboards
Sell your home for $1,500.
for X amount. Yeah.
$1,000.
And what we know about things like that is there's a whole lot of fine print, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about it. So let's talk about these flat listers. And again, a flat lister is sell your home for a certain amount of money, except for there's some things they don't add in there.
Right. So it looks like, you only pay $1,500 and that's it. Even a lot of those billboards don't even have the asterisk that says you still have to pay the buyer's agent for the homie. For bringing you a buyer.
Correct.
Nobody's going to show your
So in
house
most...
if they're not going to get paid. So.
Right. So in most real estate transactions, let's back this up and make sure everybody understands appropriately. So in most real estate transactions, there are two agents. There's the seller representation. There's the buyer representation. So this particular company or companies that is out there, boasting that they only charge a flat fee, $1,500 or whatever to list your home, that's just on the listing side. And depending on the purchase price of your home, that may or may not be a deal. And so you're still paying the buyer's end of things. So that's just a discount on the listing side. And, well, we all know you get what you pay for. So anyways.
So there's one that I've been researching, and they have a high volume of listings, and many of them are getting canceled because they're sitting for too long.
So they're actually not selling. So
Right.
Let me just ask you a question. If you are paying holding costs on a property, if you are waiting to move because of a job or because of quality of life or everything like that, but you're not actually selling, are you saving anything?
I think you're getting more stress, honestly. So
Stress kills,
how it works,
so you know.
these companies kind of let the sellers run the show, which may or may not be a good idea because, you're supposed to be hiring someone that knows what they're doing, an expert. So what happens is that some people, they'll list their house, they're $1,500, and then they're like, oh, well, we'll only pay the buyer's agent, let's say $1,000.
Because it's your choice.
Yeah, it is your choice, but then I'm seeing a trend of where they'll try that, and then they'll bump it up because they realize it doesn't work, or they'll go back and redo the photos, and they keep trying things to see if it works.
Instead of consulting an expert that has done it 50 billion million times and doing it right the first time and paying the people what they need to be paid the first time, all the while what JD is saying is all the while your listing is sitting out there and it's ticking on days on market and buyers out there are like, oh, they don't know all this stuff's going on. They don't know that you're figuring crap out. They don't know that you're doing it all on your own. They don't know that you're deciding to pay buyer's agents this thing, that thing, and the other thing. All they're doing is they're seeing your listing sit on the market.
Right.
So what are they thinking?
So when I'm working with the buyer, if a house is sitting for a while, I'm going to be like, okay, well, it's time to reduce the price.
Something's wrong with it.
Right. And it may not need a price reduction. It just needs better marketing, So, like, let's say, Alex over here showing a house, and he's like, oh, it's been sitting a while, we need to possibly offer them less. That's what's going to happen if it sits for so long, because people are going to be like, well, don't they want to sell it?
Yeah, that's common. And then you're going to be at the point of desperation because you're just so sick of doing all this yo-yo crap you've been doing. You're like, forget it, I'll just sell it for that price. Where you really shot yourself in the foot, because had you done it right in the first place, you probably would have made more money regardless of what fees you have to pay. Like, fees don't matter if the end game is actually more than what you would have gotten anyway.
So in my research, some of them have canceled and relisted with, a professional.
With real agents.
I mean, there you said it. But, and then they've either gotten more than they thought because it was marketed correctly, or they've actually dropped it a bunch. because now it's still showing that it had been listed for a while.
A stale listing, unless you know what you're doing and you've done it 50 billion times over the course of 12 years, don't know who that might be, but a stale listing is really difficult to dig yourself out from under. Don't you think?
I think so.
Yeah. Hey, Christina. Hey, David.
Oh.
So we basically have discovered through our research that this particular company that we're talking about, that's on all the billboards as you go up and down the 10, actually isn't doing what they say they're doing. Maybe once in a blue moon they are, but a lot of people are canceling their service, probably, like JD says, very, very stressed out, obviously not getting the savings that they thought they were getting. So was that really a good motivator?
No. Another thing I think of too is like, if your agent has like 20, 30 listings that they have to keep up on, how are they going to have the time to really think about what is best for you? You know, they're just trying to churn and burn.
And that's what happens with these companies. You're exactly right. So there isn't an agent that is assigned to your deal, but they probably have, like JD said, more properties assigned to them than they can humanly handle. Hence, you know, the fact that the seller does handle a lot of this stuff, and you know, the seller's handling the negotiations. Now, I always like to bring it back to this idea. I can probably perform my own root canal. Okay, I probably can. I could probably find a screwdriver, you know, a couple paper clips, and I could probably get it done. But is it in my best interest to do it myself with a couple paper clips and a screwdriver and not very much knowledge or experience, or is it better for me to just go to the dentist and have him do it?
You're going to spend more redoing it,
going through the pain and suffering. It's like all of this stuff. I'm sure he has better tools than a couple paper clips and a screwdriver. Something to think
That's what he
about.
goes to school for.
All right, guys. Consider this myth busted. Have a good weekend.